Hello, this is Professor Q, and I would like to answer the question of what is eternal return, because it kind of appeared out of nowhere, at least for me. It already has a fairly sized community, and it's a really fun game, so I'd like to explain it in case anyone would like to know, since I haven't seen too many videos along those lines on YouTube, although the ones that I have seen have been pretty good. So Eternal Return is a battle royale with MOBA controls. If you have ever played League of Legends, it controls like that game. I honestly find it more fun than League of Legends, so from the community alone, honestly. Very nice community. So in this game, you are dropped into an island, and your job is to pick up various items you see around the world, and you craft those into weapons and armor, and then you use the weapons and armor that you have crafted to destroy everyone else. Actually, a very refined gameplay loop, in my opinion. Very comfortable. There is an assortment of characters from whom you can choose to play as. You get Jackie and Aya for free, and everyone else you have to unlock either with A coins, which you get from playing the game or watching on Twitch, since they do have Twitch drops enabled, or via these crystals. I call them crystals, at least. NP, neuron points, okay. I still call them crystals. However, the game actually gives you a nice amount of A coins just from playing. Even if you aren't winning, it's pretty nice. You can also get coins from over here, and unlocking characters is the primary function of that. Primary purpose. They are constantly adding new characters approximately once every 2 weeks. The game is in early access, however, it feels like it's not. It feels like a complete game. And a lot of what's going on in early access is balance tweaking, which they'll be doing for who knows how long. Probably as long as they support the game. Adding new characters, also they will probably continue to do that for as long as they support the game. Updates are at an increased rate though now, because they're trying to catch up Eternal Return to their other game, Immortal Soul. Basically, both games have the same premise, but Immortal Soul has been around for longer, and so it has more characters. Next character they're going to add, from when I checked, is Sua, who is already in, or rather is from their original game, Immortal Soul. I will probably do a separate video on that. So I'm gonna just hop in and explain things. Versus AI, so I could focus and not have it be silence. Jackie and Aya you get for free.
Where?
From doing the tutorials, so that's nice, and I'll use them to explain the game. Loading shouldn't take too long because it's versus AI. Okay. So this game puts you against, I want to say 17 other players. It's 18 including yourself. And you're all on this island, and you are trying to gather materials from the environment around you. Everyone tries to grab from the same environment though, so there is scarcity in this game.
The experiment will now begin. We're starting. Get ready.
It's actually a huge part of this game as well. Early game, you don't really want to fight. Unless you're
Let's
Luke,
hurry and make something else.
which is a
Let's open
character
this.
in the game. I shouldn't be giving character specific advice and a general explanation of what the game is. I actually also built my weapon without explaining what I was
inside?
doing as well, so that's great. So these yellow triangles that you see indicate that you need them to finish your build, which is
What could be inside?
up in the top right corner. You would select it at the
I've
beginning
never explored a
of the game.
factory before. What could be inside?
Aya's going to get on my nerves. So we have all of the materials that we need from this area. Harvesting, hunting materials do not count, so we move on. I'm building a devil's marksman. You can see what I need. I actually need leather to finish my weapon because it is a pistol and most pistols need leather. That's what this is down here. I haven't even explained harvesting or hunting yet. Just like you can click on tree stumps and boxes to gain stuff, you can click on prompts like this water to get, well, water. Or you can kill things, or rather hunt. Really difficult while I'm trying to explain. Dodge the red areas like it's an MMO. I haven't explained the skills, oh my gosh. Also, you can cook in this game. I won't be cooking this though, so just eat it. You have
A new area has been restricted.
QWER abilities. However, you also have a D ability, which is determined by what weapon you have. Since I am Aya and I'm using a pistol, that means that it's more movement speed and cooldown reduction. Well, it gets rid of a portion of the cooldown on normal skills. And I am slowly losing my train of thought. This is a security console. It gives you vision of the various entrances to whatever zone you are in. I haven't explained zones. Right now I am in Chapel, and each zone has different materials that you can grab, and you will need different materials to make your equipment. Most of this is made much easier by this audio is probably not balanced. I have no idea how loud I am coming in, or rather how loud I sound. F to reload, since R is your ultimate. Now I've finished my weapon. If there was a fight now, then I would be able to be okay. Although, to be fair, I finished day 1 night, which is late. This is, in a simple sense, the entirety of the game. It's a lot more exciting when you're fighting actual people, but I would not be able to speak.
A new area has been restricted.
I was against actual people, although I'm not doing a very good job of doing that anyway. I think I messed that up.
A survivor has been eliminated.
You can drop things by dragging them from their slots off into the ground. It won't drop where you place it, it will just drop it at your feet. Really fun game. I totally recommend playing it with a friend.
Survivor has been eliminated.
EW, fairly helpful combo. Primarily just a simple gap. Well, your Aya E is a gap close, and Aya W is basically the entirety of her kit.
The survivor has been eliminated.
Aya ult is a root.
Survivor has been eliminated. Someone is consecutively eliminating survivors.
I'm hovering my finger over my normal push to talk button as if I were in Discord or
A
something.
new area has been restricted.
I do not know why. Since I grabbed console, you can see that now this stuff is lit up.
A survivor has been eliminated. Someone
That
is
is why you play
consecutively
pistol
eliminating
IA
survivors.
and not AR IA, assault rifle IA. Pistol is kind of just better. The exception being when you are in a team type thing and you have a strategy that asks you to play assault rifle IA, such as with an ISIL. Assault rifle ISIL works really well with assault rifle IA.
Been eliminated. Someone is dominating Lumia Island.
I forgot what difficulty I set these bots to. B is to bring up your crafting menu, or B by default at least. From here you can see what areas of the map have closed. These red parts means that you can't, or rather you shouldn't go there, because when you are in there you'll have a timer, which you can see up here, that will constantly decrease, and if it hits 0, then you will explode. Wickelin or Wickeline has already spawned. I don't really want to fight because I am explaining.
A new area has been restricted.
If you have ever played League of Legends, I will probably keep on bringing that up. Wickeline is like Baron Nashor, but kind of better. She gives true damage over time, which is basically the strongest thing in the game. It's really strong. She typically spawns here, but because I was not paying attention because I am explaining,
a survivor has been eliminated.
then
There are only
I
10
wasn't there to
survivors
pick her
remaining
up on
now.
spawn. She leaves this green like, puddle, I guess, which lets you know where she is. I just pressed my push to talk button again. Wow. But stepping in it will make her attack you, and she does a lot
A
of
survivor
damage.
has been eliminated. Someone is dominating Lumia Island.
And now I'm being attacked. I had made pound cake before, so I ate that, and now I'm healthy again. There are these triangles on the map which lets you know where other people are, and you can learn
A
where you
survivor
are
has
as
been
well.
eliminated.
Where
A
they can
survivor has
learn
been eliminated.
where you are from that
A
as
legend
well.
is born.
So you have to be careful with noise. That's a fairly large thing, especially as you get to fighting better people, because they will hunt you down if you make noise, and if you are weaker than them, you are basically automatically dead.
A new area has been restricted.
The red area that bears show gives, or rather it stuns you. So try not to stand in the red areas of animals, because it really is bad to do. It hurts, you will die. Now I am cooking. There's all sorts of recipes to cook in this game. There's even a character that revolves around just cooking. Really fun. Typically you don't want to start off by cooking though, because equipment is more important. Just making a ton of ramen and garlic ramen because it's really easy to make here. This timer shows you remaining time until the next restricted area are designated. However, it's also when orange areas, if I pull up the map, these areas will close and turn red, and it will start. If you are in a red area, once again, it will start wearing down your detonation timer, which if you defy it, it will make you explode.
A new area has been restricted.
Now Alley is, Alley is, where I am is now yellow or orange, which means that will be closing next when this 1 minute 40 seconds up here, 1:38 and counting down, reaches 0, and then we reach day 4, night. I haven't explained the day-night cycle. Basically, if it is given a number day in, then it will first go day in day, then day in night. And then at the end of the night, it will go to the next day. And that is how the day-night cycle works in this game, kind of. Also, your inventory can be full. You have to care for that. I should probably show like timer, because like here's red, it will tick and count down, and then if you were to leave, it stays at that number. So you won't be losing timer, you won't be at risk of exploding for no reason, from nowhere. So there are
A new area has been restricted.
warnings, because now that this is reduced, it doesn't go back up unless you are in solo mode, which is free for all, and you are in basic. Words are difficult. If you are in solo mode, then killing someone will get you your timer back. Getting eliminations gets you your detonation timer back. And so if you chase into a zone, but you eliminate someone, then it may have been worth the trade-off of your timer, because you will just get it back anyway. Now we are reaching final zone, which is school. It's not a good idea to teleport into final zone a lot of the time. However, this is a bot game, and I haven't explained teleporters. There are phone booths, one in every zone, and they let you teleport to any other zone. Here's another one. Here's another one. Okay, I guess archery range and school don't have one. I think it takes 5 seconds to use, and yeah, that's why you don't teleport into final zone.
The last restricted area will be designated within the
I
next
haven't
minute.
explained final zone
The
is.
security console proximity area has been set as a safe zone temporarily.
Basically, when there is only one
A survivor
area
has
left,
been eliminated.
then the
3
last
final
area
survivors
will go
remaining.
yellow. However, there is
A survivor has been
absolutely
eliminated.
every
2 last
area
survivors
except
remaining.
for Research Center, I'm not counting as an actual area. Not yet anyway. It's not actually in the game yet. They'll add it later, from what I can tell. But basically, these structures that give you vision, if you use them, are also what is called the safe area once we reach what is called final zone. There is only one zone that is left that is not red. It is now yellow or orange. And basically, everywhere except this tiny square around this vision console will be red as well. And then you get the knight to fight for the vision console. Not necessarily to use it, although you can, but if you're not in the safe area, you will explode. However, after that, then even this safe area will no longer be safe, and everyone's timer will just be decreasing, which is why you typically don't want to use up a lot of your time.
The
just
last
going
restricted
through.
area has been designated. The security console proximity area has been set as a safe zone temporarily. The temporary safe zone will be deactivated within the next minute. Please move quickly.
Last person standing kind of just increases their MMR for now. But that's basically winning. If you serve, well, everyone's a I wouldn't want to say everyone's a loser, but basically one person wins. It's not quite 99 people losing like in Fortnite, but 17 are losing. So you shouldn't really go in, especially early on, expecting to win. And if you get second place, that's actually really good as well, because this game highly incentivizes getting kills. If you can get kills and place, let's say you had 10 kills, but you were a 10th place, that's not math. 8th place. I think that would put you at 8th place. Then you would be better than you would get more reward than a person in 2nd place who got just 1 kill or 0. And that's because the game wants you to be aggressive. If people aren't aggressive, then there's no real tension for survival. And basically, if you were wondering why I was doing so much damage, it's not because I'm Aya, it's because of the items. And that goes to show that if you want to be a good player, a lot of that is just getting your build up as soon as possible while still being aggressive and active. I haven't even touched on masteries or how levels work. It's a complicated game, but it's a really relaxing complicated. If you're having trouble choosing a character, then if you go into collection, character, you're able to see what weapons they can grab, a general summary of the strengths and weaknesses of the character when they have the weapon. For example, Pistol Aya, who is fairly standard, about as standard as it gets, has medium difficulty with fast movement. However, the damage is middling, and the crowd control is, well, this has it as middling. However, I consider it pretty bad, because now that I think of it, your only real source of crowd control as Aya is your blank cartridge or your ultimate, which stuns if you let it charge enough. Because nothing else slows. You kind of slow yourself if you get your Aya's Justice or your passive proc though, so that's something to be aware of. Aya's actually one of the easier characters for just jumping in and playing as well. Jackie is kind of easy. This has Axe as easiest, and I would tend to agree. I would put up probably Dagger next, then Two-Handed Sword, then Dual Swords. Jackie, if you want to play her well, becomes so much more difficult. Another good character for starting out would be probably Hyunwoo is good if you want another melee character. And one more ranged, I would say, would be Cicella, because she's just really strong. If you want more difficult characters to learn with, Adriana is trash. You have to hit a lot of what you use, or a lot of your abilities, and they're all over time, which means you're just wanting to build a lot of damage and build a lot of health, because you cannot burst people down. And that's a good general summary of the game without getting too deep. I think there's a lot to the game. Play the tutorials. They don't explain too much, but they explain a little bit. They'll get you through the basics of the game. If you're wanting more advanced things, then you have things like custom plans, which I have some for Sylvia. This one's custom. This one I got from a YouTuber. Every weapon comes with recommended plans, and you'll also get the most popular or most recommended plans by default. Another thing for optimizing your play would be what path you take. That's generally easy. And what food you can make. For example, you saw I made butter from milk, which you can get most notably in Chapel and Avenue. You can get it from Hospital as well. However, I don't use that too often to my advantage, primarily because in Hospital you can actually get it's probably here. You can get alcohol, which you bring over to Cemetery, and you get coffee, and then you make coffee liqueur into mocha bread. It's plus 700, which is better than the plus 600 from pound cake. It's just that I'm a bit lazy. Anything else I want to expand on? This is an introductory video, and I'm probably going to redo the video anyway, because I stutter, or not really stutter, but my speech pattern is fairly strange. Anyway, good game, you should try. Probably. It's better than League of Legends.